This is the future. Evolution.
The Crossing Realms Conference launches September 19th and 20th and will dock in Richmond, Missouri. This is already being called the event of the year, folks. With an unprecedented list of speakers and special guests, 2 days of cryptids, UFOs, and paranormal presentations, along with a celebrity-filled ghost hunt, meet and greet, gallery reading, vendors, and a film screening. This promises to be both educational and fun. Go to Eventbrite.com to secure your tickets and vendor slots before they are all abducted. They're going fast.
Hello, everybody. How are you this evening or night, late night, wherever you are, excuse me, in the world, broadcasting from southern Michigan all across the globe. Yes, we are global. This is, of course, late night into the bizarre. I got Brandi with me tonight. Krista has the night off, and I don't know where Monica is. I don't know. She's floating around somewhere in another realm, perhaps. I'm not going to call her and bug her. Something's probably going on. So welcome to the show. Of course, I'm BMR, and yeah, we have a great show for you tonight. If this is your first time here, please subscribe to Bigfoot Michiganrob on YouTube, The Blinds and the Booze, Paranormal Podcast on YouTube, Texas from Porch, Monica Rollins, Our Paranormal World, Donnie Cho Says Stuff, Paranormal Paul, Truth or Tinfoil. Truth or Tinfoil, that's right. All found on YouTube. Put on your alert bells, everybody. Again, just to reiterate, the alert bell is very important because sometimes you don't know when we may or may not pop on, but we have our schedule. We don't give that out any longer for the longest time now. But I find that even with the alert bell on, people get the notices like 10 minutes after the show starts, 20 minutes. It's a weird thing. It's a YouTube thing. Make sure you do that. Please subscribe. Don't forget the super chat's open. Great way to help support, excuse me, what we all do around here. You can become a BMR pirate, our mateys. Join today, join the many, join the few, depending on your point of view. Thanks for that. Thanks to everybody who's bought my books found on Amazon. Bigfoot Michiganrob Presents True Cryptid Encounters, Book 1 and Book 2. Simply type Bigfoot Michiganrob in your Amazon browser. They will pull up. If you bought it, thank you. Leave a review. Like YouTube, it's all analytics these days. Like YouTube, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, push the shows out. Amazon, leaving reviews does help sales of the book, so I do appreciate that, you guys. So with that being said, I'm going to bring up my buddy from Missouri. Missouri boat ride.
Exactly. It doesn't end with an A, it ends with an I.
It does. You know that. Missouri is Brandi.
Just like my name ends with an I.
But you know, I just say that on purpose. Now you hate when I say Missouri. Brandi's Missouri, Krista's Missouri. You know where I got that from, though. One of my favorite movies, The Outlaw Josie Wales with Clint Eastwood. I remember one of the great scenes was they're across the river. They just got across from the people that are hunting him down, like they always are in Westerns with Clint, right? And I'm going to take him on the Missouri boat ride, and he takes that rifle, he shoots the rope, and they're on this barge, and they're all going down the Missouri River, the Missouri boat ride. So that's always stuck with me. And I've seen that movie, crap, I was probably 10 or 11 years old. So that's always stuck with me. Now that I have friends from Missouri, I like to throw that Missouri out once in a while.
The Missouri, like the Missouri River.
Yeah. And, there's people in Ohio, that's how I say it. They call it, believe it or not, locals in Ohio call Ohio. And that is so odd to hear somebody from Ohio say that. To me, it's Ohio.
That does sound a little weird, though. But, I mean, it's the same thing as a washcloth and a washcloth.
Oh, God. I don't know why, Brandi, when people say washcloth or washing machine, I don't know why, but I kind of cringe. It's like, that just sounds so I don't want to say gross, but it just sounds so weird. Wash. Go wash your
Wash.
hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Well, coming from an original Michigander myself.
Yes, you are.
Yes. It was funny because I was listening to somebody talk the other day, and I just, and of course I'm living in the South, and I mean, I'm down by Arkansas. So yes, I am in the South. And they were talking and I couldn't understand half of what they were saying. And
Really?
I said, I'm really sorry, but I'm only half Southern and I don't understand what you're saying. And they're like, what do you mean?
Half
Half
Southern?
Southern. I said, well, my dad was from Michigan. My mother was from Missouri. I'm only half Southern. I don't understand all of that. They started laughing at that, and then they kind of, pulled back on that slang a little bit so I could understand. Oh, it was thick. And I was like, whew, I couldn't understand a word. I didn't know.
It's funny though, because when I think of Missouri, I don't think of the South really. I still think more of the deadpan Midwest, right?
The Midwest. I mean, when you're talking about St. Louis and all of that, yeah. I mean, yes. But I am 27 miles from Arkansas.
Yeah, and
that's the South.
And I tell you what, you and Krista, now I know she's like north of you, she's a couple hours away from you?
About 3 hours, yeah.
Okay, but you guys, to me, when I first met you guys, your speech I don't hear anything different than the way I talk.
Again, I'm only half Southern.
Yeah.
So that's where it comes from. Half Michigan, half Missouri. That's where it is.
Well,
I guess you could call me an M&M.
Well, yeah. Well, thank you, Mickey G. Arr, Mickey R, Mickey R, pirate. Mickey, a proud pirate. Arr. She's not walking the plank tonight, mateys. Thank you, Mickey. But it's funny though. Yeah, I get that you're only half.
Yeah.
But my friend, my buddy Darren, who, it's funny though because he grew up with me in Michigan. We went to high school together, and then he joined the Army when he was like 20, a little later. After like 2 years out of high school, he said, "Man, I'm just joining the Army. Screw this," I'm like, "Okay, see you later." And
right.
20 years later, he made a career out of it. He spent 20 years. Best thing he says he ever did, which it really worked out well for him. And he spent of the 20 years in the Army, he spent 10 in Germany. And so when I went and visited him for Oktoberfest in one of those years, he was about 5 years in already. His dialect really changed, not dramatically, but you could tell he had like a little German accent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he got stationed in South Texas, I think, like maybe just it's either Austin, Texas. And he's been living there now for forever now, and he's got a southern accent. I think you just develop it when you hear the people all the time, right?
Yeah,
you hear them talk it and speak the language with that dialect, that southern drawl or whatever you want to call it. So he picked that up because when he comes home to Michigan, I said, "Dang, yeah, you're a mixture of German, Michigan, and the South." And when you speak, it's really odd when you hear him talk.
Right.
So yeah. So I imagine if I moved down to like Louisiana for the next 20 years, I'd probably sound different too.
Yeah, you would. You definitely would. It's just like now from being in the South so long now, it's kind of like my friends from Michigan say I have an accent. And then my friends from the South say I have an accent, so I don't fit in anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, well,
I just don't fit in.
Well, you fit in right here on the Late Show.
Right here, right, exactly right here. I just tell them I'm just a good old country girl. That's what happened.
But again, though, to me, you just sound like you live in Michigan still, because I don't hear anything different to me.
Right. But the area that I lived in, they had a lot of that I don't know what it was, but it had a lot of that upper UP sound to it.
Oh,
I
you lived in Flint, right? And
yeah,
that's the
but
city.
the area that I lived in had that accent like it was like an upper UP type.
Oh, really? See,
Yeah.
I can't even speak like that because I've only been to the UP a handful of times. And someone told me, a handful of people told me this, and I just don't get it. They said, "You're from Michigan." And a lot of people, a handful, as I said throughout my life, said, "I sound like I'm from Chicago." And it says, "Chicago? That's the same as Detroit. We speak the same." So I guess Chicagoans have a,
Yeah,
I
I
don't,
mean that's pretty much the same.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know. But definitely the people in UP, they sound more like people from Minnesota, eh? And that's Canadian
Yes.
as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that is definitely true. That is definitely true.
You know,
They have that even that North Dakota accent, so even a little different than that. You know what I mean? It's like they got the North Dakota.
you
The
could,
the
yeah,
Dakota. Yeah. It's a little different. I mean, all those northern states, they're all just a little bit different. And I think it's kind of cool.
Oh, I think it's cool that everybody sounds differently because that's certainly makes the world go around. It's definitely not boring.
Right?
What I find always the hardest to comprehend, I spoke to this guy that was from the deep, deep south of Louisiana,
Ooh.
and he lived like on the bayou.
So did he have that Cajun French?
Oh my gosh, yes. And I did
Yes.
not understand a single word this man was saying. I for every I understood, excuse me, maybe one or two words for every 5 sentences he spoke. I like,
Just did a lot of this,
what?
didn't you? Just nodded a lot, but yeah.
It's like a different, like a foreign language, you know. It was just like, I hate to be rude, but could you like repeat that? Maybe slow down or something. I mean,
You're right.
you know,
Right.
because yeah. And I know my friend Christy, she's from Louisiana, but she's got an accent, but nothing like this guy. This guy, I mean, you could tell he lived in the sticks.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
lived in swamp,
Yeah.
you know.
It's almost like they're kind of grunting to each other rather than talking.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, right, right. Grunt. That's a good way to put it. Grunt.
I've met a few in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like they're grunting and they're not talking to you.
But I also find it very strange. And hey, I love everybody from every state. We're not making fun of anybody. It's just
No, gosh, no.
it's a cool
Listen to me
subject.
talk.
It's just a cool subject. And the people from New York and New Jersey, man, that's a heavy, different accent too. I don't know where in the heck that came from.
Well, I don't know. We have Sir Brian in the chat. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. See, he's
Oh,
got a very unique accent too.
yeah, Sir Brian. How you doing, Sir Brian? Yeah, you'll be at our conference, by the way. Yeah, Sir Brian sounds like from a northerner to me. I know New York
Yes.
is north, but he doesn't sound like he's from New York. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Definitely
can't.
the Upper East Coast. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So.
Yeah, it's just like when I talk about things like that, I find it very unique about the different dialects that English has, and the different slang that goes from one side of our continent to the other, and I'm like, what is happening? What is happening?
Yes. What is happening? Lady Wolf is from. Hi, Lady Wolf. Nice to see you.
She's from Jersey. See that
She's
Upper East Coast?
and
Yeah.
of course, Donnie. Well, yeah. Hi, Mickey.
Uh,
Hi, okay, Donnie's
Donnie
always.
doesn't have an accent. He
Donnie don't
does
sound. He
not.
sounds like a regular American. He sounds normal. He don't have no accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, Donnie, we're not ignoring you, man. I have to read the chat, but yes, Donnie's from Jersey, and I
Yes.
would not. Well, he lives in Maryland though, but I
Yeah.
guess there's no difference. He doesn't sound. He sounds like
Well,
normal, and
yeah.
again, no one sounds not normal. It's just he sounds like we speak. No accent.
Yeah. I mean, I'm cornbread fed. I don't know what to tell y'all out there. Make fun of me.
Yeah.
It's good.
I will tell you this, though. I will tell you this. about y'all. When you say the word y'all.
I say y'all a lot.
Now,
Yeah.
here's the thing, though. I will tell you that since I've been doing podcasts, and since I find that since I've been doing this, a lot of our listeners and the people in chat and the people that we even have on shows, a lot of them are from the South, and they all say y'all. I never said y'all in Michigan ever until I started podcasting. Now, y'all has become a part of my vocabulary.
Yeah. I use that quite a bit and have for quite some time.
Yeah. But that's an easy one.
Yeah.
Universal, show me your mind in accent. Universal. And hi, Andrew. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. Universal, show you mine in accent. Yeah, well, this is a universal show. We are global, Andrew, by the way. Yes. But yeah, everyone's got accents, and I think we pick up on it. It's cool doing shows and talking to different people around the United
We
States.
have gone global. I mean,
yeah, we're all over. I mean,
we're out there.
Yeah, I mean, I know we got a lot of following from the UK, Australia, JoJo in the house from Australia. And I think I just picked up some people from Sweden. They're starting to watch a little bit. So, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, before the show started, I was on Twitch. My son is a gamer, and he's on Twitch and he streams from there. And he's just started his channel and everything. So I get on there, and their rules are a little bit different than we are here on YouTube. Of course, it's like no bad mouthing. I mean, that's the number one everywhere is don't bad mouth, whatever. But I said something like, "Hey, it's your mom," and it automatically got deleted. I was like, "What?
Oh, really?
What thing?" Well, on his channel, basically they leave it so you can be anonymous on there. And talk without giving away your identity. So that's how they do it on a lot of on Twitch, which is, hey, that's okay, that's cool. I don't mind. So I was just lurking for a while, and then I said, watch this. So I subscribed to his channel for like 6 months.
Yeah.
And this whole big whistle ding thing interrupted his live streaming. And just say that, and I said, who am I? And I put a question mark.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, if I can't say who I am, then you guess who I am then. But once he saw, because, okay, my name on Twitch, everyone, I'm going to tell you, is the Paranormal Swiss Miss. So if you see me on Twitch, it's the Paranormal Swiss Miss. Yeah, I'm telling everybody right now, that's who I am.
Can you fit all that in the little block where the name is? Oh, you can? Okay. Yeah.
Paranormal, it's all one word, but it's all in there.
Yeah, the Paranormal.
I'm telling you who I am. There.
Very good. Well, next time I'm on Twitch,
look for me. Follow me. I don't do nothing on there, but you can follow me. You'll find out what I watch. It's mostly just my son because he likes, he's a gamer when he's not working his full-time job. God bless him. He is in the military. All who are in the military, thank you for your service. I appreciate you 100%. But this is what he likes to do in his spare time. This is what he does on a Saturday night. And I said, oh, you're like a good old mom.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's what we do on Saturday night, 11 o'clock.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Hey, better be safe than sorry. That's all I got to say about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love spending Saturday night with our people, our subscribers.
Right.
I don't like to say fans, but all of us people like us and follow us. Thanks to everybody for showing up. So, Brandi, I think that maybe we'll do a little this bizarre news. I got to tell you, on Saturday shows, I typically get up. I get about 8 o'clock on Saturday, and the first thing I do is drink some coffee. I throw on whatever's on. I don't really watch the news, whatever, sports news or something. So I'll go on the computer and I'll look for some bizarre news items. And I must tell you, today, and usually I can knock it out in about an hour, just find something that is interesting.
Right.
It was about 8:30 in the morning, and I couldn't find anything I liked. It was like already 10 o'clock. I said, man, Rob, get it together and find something, It was just one of those days. It's been one of those weeks.
It has.
Like a drab, dull week.
Yeah.
And not
Yeah.
boring. And for me, it was kind of, I had that personal affair with a friend of mine, and which put me in a downer all week long.
Right.
And it was just like, it was hard to get motivated. And today's weather, it wanted to rain, it didn't. It wanted to rain, it didn't. It was hot, then it was cool, then it was windy, and it was like, I just stayed in most of the day and said, you know what a day, man.
Yeah.
And
You and I are pretty much the same, Key, because I'll get up and I'll go get my coffee and then I'll sit back down and then I start, either watching a podcast that I missed the night before or,
Right.
I'll research some stuff, see what's out there new, just see what's going on. I haven't seen nothing. Nothing.
Right.
I'm like, there has been some sad things that have happened this week. Is even in my town, some sad things that have happened.
Mhm.
But I mean, I'm like, wow, wow, it's just one of them weeks.
It really has been a very long week, it seems. Just kind of one of those so-so weeks. And even me yesterday, I did a show. I haven't done the werewolf one in a while, and I did it, and I didn't feel good about the whole show because I was kind of sad, and I didn't feel like I was me. And that when the show went, and people were cool, and they liked it. I got likes and stuff, and people were in tune to it. And then I replayed it like I couldn't sleep, so I said, I gotta replay this show. Something about it I didn't like, and I didn't like it, and I deleted it. That's how bad I thought I performed yesterday.
I didn't think so. No, I watched the first 30 minutes until I fell asleep.
Yeah. The story I did was so convoluted, and I didn't really edit it out, and I just felt like it wasn't me, and I thought I was all over the place, so I deleted it because that's how crappy I thought it was.
Yeah,
but I think it was a product of the whole week for me, though, because it was kind
it could
of
have been. It could have been. Yes, absolutely. You're just not feeling like you're, putting on the best face, the best show.
Yeah, and I was.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't even have done it in retrospect, but life goes on, and that's behind us. I forgot about it. Because this is Saturday night, and so yeah, we're going to. So I did find some pretty cool, bizarre news. I thought very interesting that we'll start. And if you're new to the show, we do a little bizarre news. I find some weird things throughout the week we discuss, and here we go.
All right.
And I'm sorry I cut you off mid-sentence, Brandi, but
Sure did. You're a little quick on the draw there.
You said, let's go. Yes.
Let's go.
So this first one, I think we're both going to like. Now, some of these, you know how we do. Sometimes we spend a lot of time. Sometimes we gloss over, say, whatever. That's how the bizarre news works. But I found this to be interesting, and I do have a picture.
Oh.
That it's something I made, but it's kind of in relation to what we're going to talk about. Yeah, I'm learning the AI, so I just made this. See that? That's this topic is about ghost planes, United States Army ghost planes, and that's what I kind of came up with. Kind of faded looking, whatever. But yeah, I thought it was all right. So ghost planes, UFOs, or something else. Brandi, this takes place on the evening of March 26th between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. Dozens of reports were made to authorities of an old World War II plane flying relatively low to the ground over the Derbyshire region. This is in England. Reports of these sightings were so widespread that the military was forced to issue a statement that the plane was, in fact, a Hercules C-130, and it was out on training exercises. However, a look at the reports that came from the public appears to describe a completely different plane from the Hercules C-130, specifically a Douglas Dakota, a military transport plane that was regularly used by the Allies during the Second World War. Even more intriguing, many reports stated that at the same time of their respective sightings, the sky turned eerily dark, unnaturally so. Many of the sightings specifically stated that despite the plane being low to the ground, it appeared to move in complete silence. similar, one might note, to how UFOs are often described. Some reports stated that the plane looked as though it was about to crash to the ground, while others stated that the plane appeared to be in pursuit of something. After news of the sightings began to circulate around media platforms, a flood of reports arrived at the local newspaper of almost identical sightings. One resident stated in a comment on the paper's social media page that he was sitting in a car on the 838 highway with his father at around 6:45 p.m. when two aircraft flew over us. It was scary. They were so low. They made no sound and produced no contrails, then they simply vanished. Another resident from the town of Belper stated the planes were directly over her house, adding that although they were flying very low, they were huge. They were very strangely quiet. And again, they did not disappear in the distance like an average plane would, they simply vanished. What is the interesting is that the region where these ghost planes, it was now coined, are spotted, planes that are aircraft that were utilized during the Second World War in that same region, is home to over 50 plane crashes involving these 1940s aerial vehicles, with these crashes resulting in over 300 deaths. These reports have come from all over the Derbyshire area, as well as the moors of the Peak District and the Howden Moors, which borders Yorkshire. And it goes on, but that's where I kind of left it there. So yeah, reading that, of course, they bring up UFOs. It brings up how they just vanish and they don't like naturally, as we know, watch an airplane go past into the distance, vanish. The government makes up. They says it was their planes when it distinctly, according to most people, was World War II. But then also the fact now was I read on in that about the people in these planes in the 40s that went down in the same area, causing deaths, this, that, and the other. So there's really quite a bit here to unpack, I think. UFO, ghost planes, something from the past, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah, there is a lot to unpack if you want to know the truth. I mean, we've heard the stories about ghost ships. I mean, there's some famous ones out there.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I think that, okay, so there have always been like silent and they couldn't hear anything about it. They could just see it.
Mm-hmm.
It could be very close to them and float by, but yet there would be no sound from it. And I guess, I mean, that could be the same thing from the sky. And what I want to know is what kind of energy was going on that day? Were they about to have storms? Was the pressure up? Was the wind blowing? I would like to know what was going on with the weather, if that was perhaps giving it that energy that we always talk about to be seen. Or is this more of a time loop or a time rip where we're just seeing this loop over and over and over again? And it just shows up when it has enough energy, but it's just the same thing over and over again. I wonder about those things. Though I've never seen a ghost plane, that would be cool.
That certainly would be cool. And I
think
it would.
And
again, it's a great point about what was the day like, what was the energy, what was the weather.
Yeah.
And then you also mentioned about it seemed like it was a loop because they're all experiencing the same things, right?
Right.
Flying low overhead, disappear,
right.
and they keep doing this. And this is all over this Devonshire, England area, right?
Right.
And I'm going to dismiss that it was anything military. I think this was something else, perhaps. Because the only reason I say that, maybe it was military branded. I only say this because people are describing the World War II aircraft. And I should have pulled up another picture. But if you look at the plane that the military is talking about and the military plane that these folks are talking about, they're not identical.
No. They're not.
similar.
Well, and then plus the planes that they're talking about, they don't fly them every day. They are usually, if they have them, they're in like your air shows and things like that. Just things like that. It's they don't fly those every day. So it would make me wonder, um, how. I mean, could they see it again? I would try to see if we can find the same weather conditions, the same type of day, to see if it would produce the same effect again. I would try everything in my power to get that done. That takes a lot of research, but especially because when you're dealing with the weather, you just never know what it's going to be. But I mean, I would keep researching that area and find out why that they have been seen in that specific area.
I would too. And again, like you say, a specific area. And it's also an area, as it did mention in that article, in that report, that in that same area, a lot of those similar aircraft during the 1940s did go down.
Yeah.
And people lost their lives.
Yeah.
And I also like what you brought up, because I'm fascinated with the time travel and the rips in the veil or different planes. I'm into that. And kind of reminds me of maybe it was something from the past, right? That just get caught in a loop. And for whatever the reason, it keeps getting, and maybe it's trying to, I don't know, be put to bed or just released. What's that word? Or
it's just because we talk about energy, how it just never dies or dissipates. It just kind of transfers to something else. And this may be it. I mean, this may be something that it's transferred to. And it's like like the conditions have to be right for it to produce itself. I mean, they're not saying that it's happening every day at noon. They're not saying that you can always see this at noon or whatever.
Yeah, no, this happened to be like around 6 to 7, same time throughout, and that was it. I mean, and it never made mention that repeats itself every other day or once a month.
Yeah, it didn't do any of that. So my thing is it points me towards the weather conditions and the amount of energy you have in the atmosphere to produce it, is what I'm thinking. Just like, again, a time rip or something like that has to have the perfect conditions for it to happen. Mm-hmm. So, or unperfect, however you want to look at it. I'm not sure. But, I mean, but it's very odd though. I mean, I haven't heard a lot of those stories. Now, I have heard where there was a story that I think they even made a short movie about it, about a pilot, I think from World War II, that had to make an emergency landing. There was a problem with the thing, and then they called down to the nearest airfield. They let them land. It was really an unmanned airfield, but there was a guy out there, whatever. So he kind of bummed around for a day or two at this base and didn't really, he only saw the one guy, and the guy fixed his plane or whatever, and then he took off. So then when he got his radio equipment and all that to work again, when he got up in the air, they figured out that airstrip had been closed down and there was nobody there at all, period.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've heard of stuff like that.
Yes.
But I have not heard of necessarily a ghost plane.
Yeah, I have not heard of a ghost plane, although I started looking at articles on ghost planes, which is very interesting. I started reading on. I'm not going to share any of that today, but yeah, it's there. Allegedly, people do see these. Really quickly, Sir Brian, I met a person who used to go and hang out in Lakeshurst, New Jersey, and they swear they have seen the Hindenburg and also felt the heat from the fire every now and then. So, yeah,
That's weird.
That's really weird.
That's cool, though. I mean, but to relive that, just think about all of the vibration and energy put in the air when that thing went. You know what I mean? Just imagine what that is like. And it's right there. It's all on the ground. It's well preserved right there. So, I mean, that's crazy, though. I don't
It is,
know. That I don't even know what to say about it, though. I would like to, like I said, figure out what the conditions were exactly, and to see if I could get it to repeat itself.
Yeah, I can go with that. And I also think it's cool that it's not just one or two people reported this. This was literally, they were the news was flooded by many people that had these experiences, one on the highway and one over their homes. So yeah, so it gives it a little more, wow, something did happen. What? Who knows?
Yeah.
I this is kind of weird, Brandy. I heard this story a long time ago about there was this pilot again leaving an airport in England, and wherever they were going, I don't know. And this plane, it was like an airline passenger, like we all take, right? For those who fly. And they were up in the clouds, and they got in this storm, right? And was rather turbulent, and there was a lot of up and down in the aircraft. People getting a little frightened. And I guess as the pilot was explaining that ahead of him, he saw it was just a weird cloud formation, almost like a funnel. So I'm thinking, wormhole or something. I don't know. That's my mind, right? And he says they flew through it. And at the other end, when they came out the other end of this wormhole, he lost all radar. And he couldn't, there was no blips on the radar. There was no other airline traffic towers you could pick up, no other airlines in the vicinity. And even when he looked down, he went down below the clouds, and all it was, and at the time they were over the ocean, he says he was just over a landmass, just this big landmass. He could not pick out or determine what it was because radar wasn't picking it up other than it was a landmass, and he should have been over the ocean. So I guess this went on for maybe 15, 20 minutes. I forget. And then another storm rolled in, similar to what he just passed through. And again, in front of him was another funnel shape in the clouds. And he went through it. And when he came out at the other end, bingo, radar back. He's back, knows where he's at. He got a hold of flight control on the ground, and he was back on course. That, I would be terrified as a pilot if that happened while I was flying, right?
Yep.
And this guy does not have any idea what happened. And he says, I don't know where I was. I was lost. No radar. It was almost like it was like 1927, before any, 1940s even, talking about the war, right? It was almost like the radar didn't exist. There was no air traffic control, nothing, just dead air. And yet he was over land when he should have been over the ocean. Then, of course, goes through that storm again. He's back to where he was supposed to be. Now, maybe, and I said wormhole, but now in retrospect, I'm not, that sophisticated when it comes to all these wormholes and all these different dimensions and planes. Maybe it's a portal. Maybe this I mean, I believe this happened. Perhaps, it was probably seemed to be legitimate. I mean, who knows, right? But that, I tell you what, Brandi, that would be eerie if I was a pilot and that happened to me.
Well, I mean, we've been talking about the 1990 or 1988 anomaly theory, and the whole the Jiffy versus Jiff and the the Mandela effect thing. And they say that every 12 years that something happens. It's not as big as the first problem with the the Mandela effect, but every 12 years. Well, what was it, 24? I think it was 2024. They said that's when the glitches started to happen. The glitches in the matrix started to happen, or that people started to notice the glitches in the matrix. just when you would think you're looking at something and all of a sudden something is or isn't there that wasn't there or is there now. You just don't know what these things are. You just don't know what's happening. And, like we've seen video that people are walking through and then someone disappears out of that video like that. Like there's a glitch, there's a problem. And maybe something like that occurred during this story that you just told, that there was kind of like a glitch and all of a sudden they're somewhere else. And then the next glitch was the storm and boop, they're right back where they should be.
Yep. Well, in fact, I did follow up on some of this, and Brian says that there are numerous reports of electric fog by pilots. And yes, I've heard of that. And I think somebody was telling me about that's what they attribute the 19, what year was it, 57, the 6 Navy pilots that disappeared over the Bermuda Triangle. They were saying that there was electric fog, but they never returned. They were never found. The thing with that, the planes have never been found.
Right. Yeah. So there was something like that when my mom was coming to Germany, right? And she was supposed to be coming into Frankfurt, and then all of a sudden there's the thing that says that the flight is being diverted. And I'm like, what do you mean diverted? They're like, well, it's being diverted to Amsterdam. I said, excuse me? I mean, that's 4 hours from where I'm at right now, and you're diverting an overseas flight 4 hours from where it's supposed to be. I said, I'm trying to get information out of them. Are they going to get on another flight to come over here? Or, do I have to drive to Amsterdam to get them? What are we talking about here? And they were making me mad. I'm just going to say.
Yeah.
But the curious thing was, because it was foggy. Okay. I'm going to tell you it was foggy. They said that flight had no, nothing for fog, no fog gear.
Oh, really?
And I said, you have an international flight that doesn't have any fog gear.
Now that should not have been in the air.
That's what I thought. So I'm thinking, are they telling me a story and this is just something they've made up?
Yeah.
Or could it have been something like you guys were just talking about, electric fog?
Yeah.
Or something like that where the plane couldn't land?
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, it was very strange. And now you've got me thinking about that, because then I'm wondering, because it was foggy, but I didn't think anything about it because I'm like, they have the landing gear equipped with, the fog lamps and all of that good stuff, and it's going to be no problem. How wrong I was.
You're right.
I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, you've got to land them 4 hours from here. I've got to go all the way to a different country to get them.
No kidding,
Here I would be saying I have to go to another state. Over there, I have to go to another country. I'm just saying.
I know. It's funny.
No, what they did is they just landed them over there and they sat for 2 hours and then they flew them over. I mean, but still, that was a long delay. I was like, what? And, and they wouldn't let them off the plane. And I'm like, I mean, maybe it was the killer fog. Maybe it was the killer fog.
Hey, maybe it was the fog from the Stephen King novel, The Fog.
That's it. That was it. They weren't letting off the plane or nothing. Maybe that was it.
All these creepy creatures were emerging from the fog, taking over the souls of the small Maine, the population of the small town in Maine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yes, Lisa J, this is like the Twilight Zone show. Saturday nights as we talk bizarre stuff.
Right. We do talk some weird stuff.
We make this kind of fun on Saturday night. We mix it up, and but yeah, it's a cool show.
It's mostly just theories and opinions.
Yeah, we're not gung ho. Yes, it's just more.
This is not a fact.
It's just one of those, as Barry will say, food for thought. Food.
Yeah, we just throw out a whole bunch of ideas. We let you go to bed thinking about them,
and we get them from like things that I find or we find on on the news or otherwhere else on the internet.
Why not?
And I can't believe I'm doing this, Brandi, because I have not been following up with this, because you know me when it comes to dolls and clowns. But I just had to, and I thought more of you were beyond today. But it's cool you're just here, because I'm glad a paranormal gal is here.
Yeah,
Dolls
right.
and clowns. And I was not following this story, and it is news. And I don't know. You might have talked about it a little bit on the Blondes and the Booze. I don't know if I wasn't paying
You're
attention.
talking about the Annabelle doll, right?
I am, and yeah, but really quickly, and I can't believe I did this. I even got the picture. I don't even know why this is on my computer. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I own one just like it. Yeah.
Yeah, but well, yeah, go ahead. Well, I got the news, like the clipping here for those maybe that don't know, really quick. But you
Oh
want,
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. If you don't follow the paranormal that
yeah, you
much,
would know this, and I
you-
purposely don't follow a lot of the Annabelle stuff because I just don't dig dolls.
right, right,
Annabelle, the allegedly haunted doll of The Conjuring series that was in Pennsylvania as part of the New England Society for Psychic Research Museum, NESPR, founded by paranormal researchers Ed and Lorraine Warren, National Tour paranormal investigator Dan Rivera, of course, was found unalived in his Gettysburg hotel room. Local police in the Adams County coroner's office said his death did not appear suspicious and nothing unusual or suspicious was observed at the scene. The tour will continue, Brandy, and this will undoubtedly stoke the interest among believers in the alleged powers of the Annabelle doll, which the museum normally keeps under lock and key. And that's just the brief little
yeah, that's the brief
snippet.
version. Yeah,
Yeah, and again, we heard about this a couple weeks ago. We were all kind of talked about it a little bit. I don't know whose show it was, how it was going on tour. And I think we might have had the discussion, should it come out of the box, this, that, and the other. And then, here it is 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, and then this investigator, unfortunately, not with us.
right,
I mean, what's
right.
your take on this whole situation briefly?
Well, I haven't I haven't really talked about it much. Now, I did not know Dan personally. I knew of Dan, but I didn't know him personally. But
Yeah.
a lot of people I do know were friends with him. So I haven't come out and really spoke about it. I mean, I will just not, I will talk about all the weirdness that goes along with it. Because I mean, this Annabelle doll, they've been putting it on tour. I mean, it should have never went on tour to begin with. It should have never been removed from its spot that it was put. I don't agree with that at all. A lot of weird things have been happening since they have taken that doll out. Like it was at a museum, old plantation home, which mysteriously caught on fire right after the doll was removed from it. It caught on fire. It burnt down. I can't remember the exact plantation museum/museum. And they were, I just don't think they should be charging money to see something like this. I really don't.
Okay.
I don't. I really, really don't. I don't know why people would pay money to see something like that, especially when it could contain or have that type of energy. But yeah, there's so many things happening now that it's almost it's not coincidence anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could take the plantation. Well, it burnt. Okay, sorry, that happened. Oops. It could have been a coincidence. But now, same tour, same doll. Now we have somebody who's passing away very young, which is very strange, and which is one of the team that are bringing this doll out. It's kind of like the doll saying, "It's time to take me back." I don't want to be on the road or anything. But like I said, there's so many things just weird things that are happening that I don't know. I mean, I don't want to believe that this doll is responsible, but like I said, it's becoming more than a coincidence.
So with this doll, it was made popular by The Conjuring, correct?
Yes, correct.
Now, was that prior to that movie? Was there history about this doll? Or was this doll just brought into the movie? Was this been around for many, many years? I mean,
There is
does it have
history. I'd
legal
have to
past?
look it up exactly to tell you the all
Okay.
the facts on it, so you would understand. I mean, there was a little bit of a history to it. At the Conjuring House, the last time I was there, they do have a replica within the home.
Mm.
There is a replica in there, but I mean, it didn't. There wasn't. It wasn't any more haunted than any other place that I'd ever been. Let's just go with that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, there were noises and EMF spikes and, normal stuff. The history is what really makes that whole story. That's what makes the story.
Yes.
But I don't know. I don't know. I'm so on the fence about this. Like I said, I have the skeptic part of my mind that says, people are manifesting bad things to happen because you've got all these people out there protesting that they don't want this doll in their town and they don't want this. So they're creating a negative energy anyway. So is that stigma following this doll, because of the bad press, the protesting and all of the other stuff that's going along with it? Or is it, getting more energy from the people coming to see it? Or, something like that. I don't know, guys. I am on the fence about this one because it's still supposed to be
excuse me,
safely encased. It has not been opened during any of the moves, nothing at all. It's supposed to be safely in that case and is not supposed to be able to do anything.
See, that's the creepy thing. Well, first of all, Chu, I agree. I think the people around it are manifesting this energy, right?
Right.
And for this thing to be a case, it's not supposed to be let out. I mean, doesn't that tell you right there? Whether you believe in this or not, I believe in the paranormal, certainly. Yeah, I don't think that's a great idea. And really quickly, Brian just got this. He says, just got this via news source. Breaking demonic Annabelle doll mysteriously missing, from hotel room. So this doll was in the hotel room where paranormal investigator Don Rivera was found, eh? I had no idea it was in the room with him.
I had no idea that it was in his room because normally they just transport it and then move it from location to location. I didn't know it'd stay in the room with them. I'd be like, heck no.
Yeah, if that's just some snippet on the news wire just for clicks, I don't know. But if that's the case, that is very haunting.
That's like putting Robert the doll in your room too.
Man, oh gosh, yeah.
No.
Or
Thanks, but no.
Or take a picture.
But I mean, okay, so let's talk about Robert the doll for a second. So Robert the doll is also encased in glass and it's supposed to be safely secured in that thing. But why do they have the rules of like you have to say hello to him when you walk in, you have to ask him for permission to take a picture and all of these other kind of things, or something bad happens? And then this has happened to a lot of people. You know what I mean? So if this thing is safely encased and it's still causing havoc, well, maybe Annabelle is too. Maybe it is not as safe as they think it is. I mean, maybe it dulls how much energy she can get out of there. I don't know. But it just seems odd though. If Robert can do it, why can't she?
Yeah.
So
right. Yeah. I mean,
yeah. So I don't get it. I don't. Why would you move this doll, knowing that it still has, that type of reach, even though it is encased? Why would you do that?
I wouldn't. I don't know why anybody would. And I also don't understand. Andrew says, Robert the doll, you got to ask permission to get a picture of him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I even heard it used to be on a restaurant or outside a painted mural or something in Key West or something. Is that where he originated from?
That's where Robert the doll is at. He's in Florida.
Oh, yeah, Florida.
Yeah, he's in Florida.
Now, what about all these people that drive by and see him out there in the public and they snap a picture? I mean, they all, are are they doomed? What's happening with these people? You know what I mean?
I can't get over it.
You
I
know?
can't get over Robert the Doll, period. That story's weird to me
Yeah.
because the Stife, did I block out okay, here we are.
Yeah.
The Stife Bear Company
Okay.
made Robert the Doll. Now, when I lived in Germany, I had a ton of Stife bears, and I probably still have a few somewhere. I have Stife bears in my home. The same company that made Robert the Doll.
Wow.
Yeah, and Robert the Doll was not a very nice looking doll to begin with. I don't. It's almost like it has a bare face without the hair. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking when they made that.
You know me. I haven't even looked at it. I don't know what it looks like. I never looked at it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably gonna have to, but yeah, Donnie says, yeah. Well, Donnie has a good point with this. Yeah, I wonder how much money they made from this tour. That's the thing. That's the evil.
Yeah,
really.
because it's a greed.
Yeah,
it's greed, and they shouldn't be moving that thing. Somebody, it was Lisa. Lisa says, I and my husband want to purchase a haunted item from an antique store and to bring it home, believe it or not. Well, you can ask Mr. BMR himself about purchasing antiques and bringing them home.
Yes, Lisa J. I collected several, did not know they were haunted. Collected them over a year and a half period and saved them to put them in a part of my house when I was married with the wife. And as soon as I brought them out within 2 weeks, we had negativity fell upon us. Me and the wife barely spoke. And then we started seeing shadow people. I first seen a big, huge shadow person in my house, which went from the floor to the ceiling, 5 foot wide. And it was scary. Then I would see shadows during the daytime. Then my wife, I never told the wife, and then she says, I gotta tell you something. And then she was seeing the same things. And I'm not getting into that story again, but point of the story is if you are going to buy antiques, I guess what would you do? Get them blessed or something, Brandi? I'm never going to do it again because
I would cleanse them. I would cleanse any antique item before bringing it in the house. But and long story short, for me and Rob, we kind of we both had a problem with the same type of picture. It's the same type of picture and the same type of picture frame. The one that I had, well, actually my mother had, and she kept trying to give to me. No, I told her I didn't want it. I didn't want it in my house. No, absolutely not. Rob has the same problem with the picture that he had, that he just keeps covered up in the corner.
Yeah, keep covered up in the corner. Yeah. Very freaky, very haunting. In fact, we did the show. Remember, I took that picture. We saw that weird crack in it, and it's not even on there. But it was distinctively there. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and I've told everybody the story about a couple years after that, my mom's house burned down, and that picture was in the house when it burnt, and I'm just like, I wonder how them people are faring, because my mom sold the land. I mean, there was a couple acres, and she sold it, and she just wanted to be done with the land, and they built a house exactly where my mom's old house was. They built it smack dab right on top of where it was. And I was like, ooh. I wonder how they're feeling about that. Not only because of that picture burnt and now those ashes are in the ground, but my dad passed away in the house. So I was like, good luck to you with that. Good luck to you. It's just kind of like, I know my dad. Good luck to you. He's probably having a good old time down there.
Probably. I'm sure he is. That's awesome.
I don't know what to go with that, but I just think that's funny. There's a message about it.
No, I can tell by your expression. It's very funny, and you.
Well, yeah, because I mean, these people wanted this property. They were trying to buy it off my parents before, my dad even passed away. They were trying for years and years and years to get it. Finally, when the house burned, my mom sold it to them, and I'm like, good luck to you. I know how my dad is.
For sure.
Yes. I know when he's around and when he's not around. So.
Yeah, and again, we could talk ad nauseum about that too. See how this show can go. I can tell you, but I know when my dad's around, he's been around twice that I remember.
Right.
But anyway,
right.
it seems like I talk about that so many times. Thank you, T-Bone.
Thank you, T-Bone.
5 new pirates. Arr, mateys. 5 new pirate members. Arr.
Yes.
T-Bone's awesome. Thanks, T-Bone.
Thank you, T-Bone. Appreciate you.
As always, T-Bone's fantastic. So switching gears a little bit from the paranormal, although Bigfoot could be construed as paranormal, but not like paranormal like we talk about. I mean,
if you're just speaking strictly definition, absolutely, it's paranormal.
Anything could be paranormal. Something that you don't know is paranormal or understand, right?
Yeah.
It could be. Missing Girl and Bigfoot, April 2025. Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, the BFRO, reports on the experience of Amber Webster, who is searching for a missing girl in a wooded area of Yavapai County in Sedona, Arizona. She reported hearing from a distance 2 hard tree knocks, followed 2 hours later by a sighting with her husband and cousin of some sort of creature. The creature probably stood about 7 feet tall and had to be or come in and weigh at least 400 pounds, she reports to the BFRO. Amber also mentioned that it had a really wide body and shoulders. He was hairy with matted, I never heard this before. He was hairy with matted white and brown hair around his flat, hairless, leathery face. Now, the leathery face reminds me of mine before it changed over. Leathery, that look, right? She says his eyes reflected a golden color. Again, I never heard gold on a Bigfoot. He just stared at us. After a few minutes, we got scared and left as fast as we could, Webster told again the BFRO. She also did make mention that the missing hiker was found a day later. The hiker, who was fine, minimal injuries, the hiker claimed to have seen something glowing, like glowing lights, gold lights in the background, and something big that was moving. It moved towards her, and that's what scared her. She ran from it, and that led her to falling down into the canyon. The BFRO is currently following up with this investigation. Kind of odd.
Yeah. I don't know.
Again,
it sounds like we don't have all the information on that.
Well, yeah, I mean, we could look that one up. I didn't bother. I just threw this together this morning, as I tell and I didn't look into it. Probably could go on the BFRO website.
Well, yeah.
But this BFRO website don't give much more than I just read. That was that was the report. And that's the thing about the BFRO. The reports
I wasn't going to say that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're trying to change it, and I get it. But they only put everything that is flesh and blood in the reports. Anything other than that was not used to be on the reports.
Yes.
Which I mean, why report it? Because it's going to do nobody no good. I mean, to learn from it.
Yes.
If it doesn't contain all the information, you can't omit the parts that you don't believe.
Yes. And for those just tuning in that might not know this, we talk about this openly because we know several people that used to and currently, work under the guise of the BFRO, is that they purposely sanitize reports. If anything paranormal or of high strangeness is involved, they keep
Yeah.
it strictly flesh and blood.
Right.
So the reports aren't really accurate.
Yeah, but I know some people with new blood that are getting in there, or
They're out.
you know,
They're out.
and who are now understanding. Hey, you can't just report what you want to. You have to report the whole story,
Yeah.
or it's nobody's gonna learn from
It's a
it. It's
lot.
not the real information.
It hinders the actual researchers.
Right, exactly. Or I could just write down, um, okay, so John was at so and so street at 6:13. He saw Bigfoot. Okay, there's my
Yeah,
report.
there you go. Yeah.
I mean, because that's all you're gonna get. So, because it's not gonna give you much more than
And
that.
they're omitting the report that he was, shot down from a UFO in the sky. That would definitely not make the BFRO.
Right, right. So there's a lot of new blood getting in there, and they're trying to adjust, washing the reports, as they
Yeah.
say. So and hopefully that will help. But it's just that of all these years now, we have all these reports where all that information is now missing. So hopefully we can get it together. You know what I mean? And start to learn something from all the new reports with all the information. But I mean, I don't know. This one just sounds like it's kind of weird. Like they seen it later. They heard the knocks and then seen it later.
Yeah, I thought that was weird too. I mean, first of all, they're out on an investigation. It's almost like they stopped looking for the girl.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, they've seen this, and they got scared, they ran away or whatever. And oh, and by the way, the girl showed up. I mean, kind of, yeah, maybe sketchy. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
But the thing about it is,
I mean,
maybe not sketchy. It's just not fully. It's not fully. It's not a full
explained. It's not fully explained. I get a lot of that, especially trying to even in the newspaper. I mean, it's very rare that I get one anymore, but even in the newspaper, sometimes the story's so vague, you're like, what happened? I don't understand that.
Thanks,
Oh,
Donnie.
gosh. Thank you, Donnie.
Thanks, Donnie. If you guys don't go and watch K-pop Demon Hunters on Netflix, then it's official. You hate Donnie's show. We never hate you, Donnie.
Donnie, I don't hate you, but I'm not watching it either. I don't hate you. I just don't like K-pop.
Yeah.
It's a thing. I don't know. I don't know. Especially when you're from Michigan, you're just not a K-pop fan. You're just not.
Oh, that's boycotted in Michigan.
I mean, if you're from Michigan, you either like that, you like rock and roll, or you like some Motown. That's
Yeah, that's pretty much Detroit. You got that right.
That's what you're gonna get. But I don't know. Going back to the story, I think that some of the stories just weren't. Some of parts of the story were kind of missing. I just think they're missing. There's more to it, and I would like to hear the whole story. And I know you don't have it, and I know it probably wasn't posted. They just put in what they thought was necessary for you to know.
Right. I mean, I kind of, even when I was read that, I was thinking much like you just earlier. I said, man, maybe I should go on the BFR website and look it up. And I didn't, because it was like, it's going to be no different than this. It's probably
not.
It's probably just a cut and paste.
Yeah, I mean, you think about, I can't remember his name right now, but the child that disappeared in Tennessee and then showed up later, or they found him like 2 miles from the house or wherever they found him. I've been watching documentaries all day, so my names and dates are messed up. But it's just, it's kind of like he showed up and they found him and he didn't look the same. I mean, was this child looking exactly the same? Was this child in shock? Was this child, I mean, it's pertinent to the story. I mean, what are we, what was the condition?
It was definitely incomplete. And even thanks, Keith.
Thank you, Keith.
And even you would think that I was more interested, maybe not so much the Bigfoot because we do it so often, but I was really more interested in this missing hiker, how she fell down a canyon and all of a sudden just kind of, appears apparently with no injuries. If you fell down a canyon, I'm sorry, honey, you're gonna break an arm or a leg, or you're gonna need help. You follow?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know, Rob. That's kind of a weird one for me. I think that's a partial story that we just don't have.
And it's a typical, and hey, it's just a great reason why I don't really follow the BFRO.
Yeah, because I have
Because they're
so
all
many
like
questions about it. I have so many questions about it that I'm like, well, you can't answer those. You've got just the information you just gave me. That's all you know. So I'm like, okay. So like, okay, well, what I'm not gonna have. I just don't have anything to say about that one, Rob. I mean, it sounds weird.
Yeah, it's
Sounds a
just
little
weird.
suspicious.
It does sound, it just sounds more incomplete, I will say, than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, this, that, and the other, because all the elements I can certainly go with, but again, incomplete,
Yeah, it does sound a little incomplete.
it's
Yeah.
something that would make me say, yeah, whatever, kind of like what that was all about.
Right. Yeah. Contact me when you get the rest of the story.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
try to
that's one of
find.
those for me. Yeah.
Now, what I do like though, Brandy, about this is it did have the names, the location, the date. So something that maybe you can probably just type Google and might be able to find. I might do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you could, if it has names and dates, I mean, that's always the best thing to do to see if you can find anything on it. Another thing is somebody may have already covered the story on YouTube, so try that too. Um, I was finding cool documentaries that I didn't even know existed out there.
Oh yeah.
Today,
You're talking about
today
YouTube?
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
just
I always
even
find.
30-minute documentaries about certain things. I don't know how I got onto serial killers today, but I did. Um, I just don't know. Just strange stuff.
Yeah,
Just
no,
strange stuff.
I will tell you this, YouTube, I will find I YouTube to me has got fascinating documentaries.
It does.
And you
I
just
mean, you really have to look for them,
you do.
especially if it is not a well-known subject or something like that. But like I was finding crazy stuff, and they may, like I said, only be about 30 minutes long, but they are well worth the watch. You might learn something you didn't know before. Because the funny part is, you start off when we were talking about accents and the Cajun part. I was actually looking up a female murderer who had done away with this little girl, and she was out of Louisiana. So, and it happened back in, I think, 1958. So I really had to dig for it, but somebody on YouTube had it. I'm like, well, there it is. I was like, well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. And like I said, I'll type in like certain keywords or whatever I'm into that night, or just bored, or sometimes I just happen on them.
Yeah.
I'll click it. Which is cool though, is how YouTube is. Once you click on something, you watch it for a couple minutes, then it'll start feeding you like it all does everybody. Other
I
cool
know.
documentaries.
I know. Because it started spawning off another woman murderer who was out of Macon, Georgia. And that's how it swung me into Louisiana. I was like, dang, I'm traveling all over the United States today. you know? And it's funny how the dates and the similarities are so close together. You're like, what was happening in the world at that time? What kind of negativity? Because we've been talking about the negativity going on in the world today and how many things are happening and all of this kind of stuff. But I'm like thinking about this certain year or this certain decade, and I'm like, what was happening then? What kind of negativity was happening then? Because it doesn't seem like, to me, it could have been as widespread, only because they don't have the social media and all the ways to get the news around like we do today.
Yes, correct. I agree with that 1,000%.
I mean, something can go viral within 1 hour, and then half of America knows.
Oh my
You know
God!
what I mean?
And you say 1 hour, and it could even be 10 minutes with certain things.
Yes. Yes,
You
that's
know?
what I mean. So, like I said, negativity can spread pretty fast today in this day and age. I mean, very quickly.
But
But
that's again, that's the bad thing about it. You know, the negativity spreads like wildfire. Somebody
yes,
doing a good deed doesn't spread at all. Oh, who cares? You
yes,
did a good deed. That's boring.
right,
I mean,
right.
you know, I mean, it's sad to say.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's just kind of like, do we go back to the world and we talk about like vibration or the moon and if we're in retrograde or what was swinging around at the time that was happening, it just makes you wonder. And again, you would have to go back and study all the stuff of the time. What was the weather pattern look like? What was, where was the moon at in the sky? And all that kind of stuff, which is, it's a lot of research, but sometimes it's very rewarding because it just kind of proves and validates everything that you were thinking to begin with. So I
Absolutely.
recommend doing it in your spare time. Dig in a story and search it out. It's just one of the things I do in my spare time.
I do like the way you really attack it. You know, you brought up something I never even thought about, and the second time you said it on the other story or whatever news item.
Mhm.
The weather patterns, what was the moon like? What was the tide? The
Yes.
weather.
Yes.
It's a lot of people you don't think about that right away, but that's really important, isn't it? It seems like with a lot of situations. I
Hmm.
mean, I'm not saying that Friday the 13th is Friday the 13th with a full moon? Is that a crazy night that you should really stay indoors? I mean, is there facts and numbers that back up on the night of a full moon
Yeah.
there are more?
Yeah. Is it the full moon or is it the 3/4 moon?
Mm,
Is it the waning moon? Is it an eclipse? Is it, it's all of these different things. And if you really want to pinpoint or try to really debunk something, you've got to take all of that into account with everything else. And I'm telling you, it's a lot of research. A
yeah,
lot.
it is. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I,
But, it's just the love of the game, though. It is.
it's never work if you love what you're doing, right?
That's right.
And,
Absolutely.
and that's why you don't call it work. You just call it what you're into, which it's your it's what makes you happy, right? When you're happy, you can spend 10 hours looking up stuff. And
Right.
you don't think
Yeah.
you don't think nothing of it. Oh, I get paid to do this. Some people,
Right. I get paid for
not
that.
us. We don't
We
get
we
not
get
us.
paid our penny an hour.
Yeah,
Shush.
yeah, we do.
Well, I'm sorry, we got a raise. Inflation. It's a nickel
Yeah,
an hour now.
yeah, it's a nickel an hour.
It's a nickel.
Yeah, I'll take it. So we got to log about 1,000,000 hours. Mhm.
I get to log in 1 billion hours. That's why
Yeah,
we're on every night of the week.
yeah,
Everybody just
right.
wants to know.
Yeah, I know.
Logging in our billion hours.
Okay, this is pretty creepy. Going back, we're gonna go back to a portal
Uh-oh.
story. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
In fact, I kind of reminded to do this when I see Brent Thomas in the house, and I did this some similar one of this on the brunch show when me, him, and Monica were on, and it was pretty fascinating. So I'm gonna run this by. It's a little different, and I'm fetched, and this is something we've all heard about portals, Brandy. In the middle
Yes.
of nowhere in the woods,
Yes.
out on the lake, the ocean. To this day, I have no idea what happened to me on the boat. Right? Was
I
that a
love that
portal?
story. One of my favorite ones from you.
Yeah, and in outer space, of course, right? Portals, wormholes. What about a portal inside your bedroom? And this is kind of paranormal-ish. Well, I'm going to tell it, and you'll get what I'm saying. So it goes on to state here that the hole started drifting to the right and revolving toward me, and I saw two young men in some other room. One was sitting and working or typing or doing something like that. The other guy was looking at what he was doing and looking at me and looking around me in my bedroom. So this guy's in his bed. Now, this guy painting the picture, this guy is in his bedroom, and this portal, which I'll describe in a minute, shows, and he sees two guys that seem to be at a workbench typing, and these two guys happen to notice this guy looking at them, right? So I sat up on one arm watching them like this, I guess, and then I noticed that the light from their room was lighting up my room. I could see the ironing board to the left, my bookcase to the right, the floor, the ceiling, and my door, which was closed. That was when I knew that I was really fully awake and I was not dreaming or anything of that nature. I think they were talking to each other, but I don't remember hearing them. I thought about getting out of bed and grabbing my clothes and just stepping through the hole into their room. But I chickened out because I wasn't sure if I would be able to come back or not. The hole started to revolve the other way until it went sideways to me again. Then all of a sudden it disappeared and the light was gone and it was back to being dark again. It was pitch dark. Finally, I decided that it had just been a weird dream. So I picked up the covers, I laid back down, turned on my side to go back to sleep. And then that's when I realized I had been sitting up the whole time. So it had to have been real. Well, that's it for now. The hole had smooth sides and the sharp corners, no glow or fog or anything like that. Looking back at it now, I think the two guys were panicking because they had been seen and they were trying to close the window, or however you want to say it. If I tried to tell people, blah, 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 then he goes on to try to tell people what happened, they laugh at me. That would be kind of freaky. And the thing I forgot to mention is this portal, okay? Apparently this guy was looking at, he's in his bedroom, the light from the other side, it was in front of a mirror. The portal came out of a mirror, and I know we talked about mirrors whenever it was, about how they could be portals and they could be,
Scrying. Yeah. Yeah.
And so he saw this in the mirror, and when he looked into the mirror, it was like a light, kind of a spinning light like we've seen on movies. And he seen two guys. One was on a keyboard typing, and he could describe their room, and he's looking at them. And man, how freaky. And they seen him, they looked in on him, and they kind of, their eyes met.
Mm-hmm.
And this came from his bedroom, and the guy knows, according to him, he was fully awake.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of got scared a little bit, and then that portal in his room closed. I don't know about you. If that did happen to me, wouldn't know. I mean, I'd be freaked. I think like anybody, we'd be like, wow, whatever.
Well, scrying is a real thing.
Okay.
It's a real thing. You know, what you do is you stand in the mirror and you just stare at the mirror and watch everything behind you. And you just keep looking through that mirror. And they say that sometimes you can watch spirits move behind you as you're looking into the mirror, or you can see them looking through the mirror at you.
Really? So you can look into it. Supposedly you look into a mirror, and as you're looking into the mirror, let's say it's in your bedroom or a room, and you concentrate on the items in back of you that are reflecting.
Mm-hmm. You focus in on everything that's in the mirror, and you know, sometimes you can see spirits moving in the room behind you through the mirror. Or, like I said, you might have a ghost staring at you through the mirror. So I have never had it happen for me. I am no good at it. I'm just saying. I mean, that's something I would rather not touch. It's just one of those things that I don't understand it, so I don't do it. But I've never heard of anybody seeing somebody living like a whole other scene.
Yeah, I mean, he was watching them like working, typing. The guy was typing what the other guy was doing, and then they seen him as well. I mean, and I guess they were all in shock. I mean, come on, to me, that's how the movies. I mean, so are you saying though, from what you just described to me, what's it called? Scrying?
Scrying.
Scrying.
Scrying. Like crying, scrying. Yeah.
So was this kind of like that? This is more advanced than that, then, eh?
Well, evidently. Evidently. I mean, could he have opened a portal through that thing? Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, there's people who report having portals opened in mirrors all the time. But I've never heard of anything like that. But I have heard of people looking through. Again, I know we've talked about this today, but the time rips, like you can look right through the rip and see something totally different on the other side of that rip. You know what I mean? It's just something totally different through it. And it sounds like the same thing, like this little portal opening, and they're seeing somebody else living in that, in that little time rip. So I'm like, wow, that's kind of scary.
That is very scary. And a similar story that I remember reading just this week was about, again, because I've been looking up portals and mirrors. I've been fascinated with that too, and just looking for material for this and all that.
Yeah.
This guy's similar type of thing was in his bedroom. This might be what you're talking about. He was concentrating at looking into the mirror. It wasn't dark. He had like a dim light, just enough where it was kind of not too bright, but not too dark, just where he could see objects, like you said.
Yeah.
And he said what he did is he asphyxiated on staring, concentrating into the mirror, almost like, Melissa, hi. How you doing, Melissa? And he just concentrated. And he said it's almost like he was in a he didn't say hypnotic trance, but it was almost like a form of meditation.
Yes.
And then he said he seems
hyper
like
focused. Yeah.
He got like lost in his thoughts or in his mind with his concentration. And then he saw himself in the mirror back like 20 years prior doing something that he had done. Maybe it was washing the car or something like that. But he remembers vividly that he did that, 10 years ago. And then he's seen it now cast through this mirror and watched himself. And then he said, much like these guys did, then all of a sudden it was the oddest thing, and actually a very scary thing, is that himself from 10 years in the past washing the car happened to look up from washing the car and looked in and saw the present him see his past him. They made eye contact. And then it just, everything went boom. Just the mirror, everything went done, everything shut down. And the guy says he hasn't been the same since, because he's seen himself. He's seen his past and present self.
Yeah. See, I've done that in a dream though.
Yeah.
I saw my reflection in a dream and I looked a lot younger. I don't know what that means. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But that's weird. And I it's kind of like astral projection, I think. The more you practice doing it, the easier it becomes. And then sometimes you don't even know you're doing it, but you are doing it. And maybe that was his thing, is he was so used to focusing on that mirror and relaxing and that he didn't really have to go through the process to do it. He was just doing it when he wasn't realizing.
Yeah, and maybe he didn't even see himself or from the past, present, future, whatever you want to call it. Maybe he was just in a dream mode himself. We talk about dreamscapes. Remember, we talk about dreams a lot. And maybe it wasn't, maybe that really didn't happen. Maybe he just projected that image of his past. Because I could tell if you stare at something long enough, I guess you can inadvertently just see things that aren't there.
Oh, that's where pareidolia comes from.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at something long enough, you're going to see something. Yeah.
Yeah, you are. You can see it.
Absolutely.
It's just like what I used to do as a kid, and I do it once in a while. Remember, you go to sleep at night and you take your fingers or
and
whatever,
rub your eyes.
Yeah, and you can rub it so hard, gentle, up and down, and put strain on your eyes, and you see all the crazy bubbles and colors and all this and that.
Right.
And if you do it long enough, you can see whatever it is that your mind's
Right,
up,
right.
And somebody told me some people can't do that. I think everybody can see color and light when they do that to their eyes, though. I mean, I could be wrong.
Well, yeah, it's just like right now with my light that I have that's shining on me right now. I close my eyes, I can see the light. It's like I can
Oh
still
yeah.
see it as if it's still like right in
Oh
my
yeah.
face.
Yeah. Me too. I'm
Yeah,
just
it's
shutting
just,
my eyes. I can see it too.
yeah, it's just crazy things like that. It's like if you're sitting and playing on your phone for a long time, you can close your eyes and still see your phone
Oh my gosh, all the time. You know what I've been doing
all the
lately?
time.
This has
Yeah.
been happening to me lately. I swear. Me and my dreams, like constantly dreaming all these crazy dreams. So, and I never do this because I don't like doing this because I don't want to be that person that does it because everyone does it. You know how we all lay in bed, and we know we should go to sleep, but we got the damn phone, and then
Hmm.
you're scrolling. So I was doing that, and 'cause I found a thread that was interesting, so I'm kind of watching it, and then I kind of fell asleep with my phone in my hand, and as I'm sleeping, I dreamt the exact things I was scrolling. And for a minute there, I thought I was still awake scrolling, but I was sleeping. Because then I woke up and my phone was, on the floor or whatever, off on the side of the bed or whatever. And that's just odd. The last thing that I remember scrolling and watching, I dreamt, which is so weird because I don't really do that with movies. But
Yeah,
it's the power of that phone. Huh, there's
yeah.
something going on there.
I'm sorry, but cell phones are addictive. They're
Oh,
very
they are.
addictive. I
Mhm.
mean, you can watch people just sit in a restaurant, stand in the middle of a store and look
Oh,
around.
yeah.
Everybody's on their phone, looking at their phone. I mean, they're not really talking to each other.
No.
They're on the phone.
Yeah, and they even say, they're talking about the dating scene. Guy and a girl hook up for the first time to go to a restaurant. They're both on the phone. Well, honest, I mean, what the hell? I don't get it. I mean, that is, not
Yeah.
even your wife of 20 years. When you go out to dinner, you should get me off the phone.
Yeah,
Let's
you should be off
talk.
the phone. Absolutely.
And
Now, I mean, me and my daughter are kind of funny together because we'll be sitting on our phones, but we're looking at the same thing and we're flicking through stuff and we're showing each other, laughing and
oh well,
giggling.
that's not, you're
I mean,
sharing
we're
it at
we're
least.
participating together in
Yeah,
it.
that's
But
different.
I
That's
mean,
cool.
you will see people together and then they don't even look at each other. They don't even
Yeah,
see each other. You
no.
know, when I go out with people, um, even over to say I'm going to a friend's house for a party, I make sure that I'm not sitting there on my phone
Mm,
because you're watching nothing.
yeah,
And
no.
that's like, you're not even watching your life go by. You're not even paying
Oh,
attention. It is going
no.
by.
Hey,
Yeah, you got to put that phone down.
do you ever watch TV and look at your and watch your phone at the same time?
No,
Good.
no. I don't really watch TV at
Yeah,
all
well, no, a
anymore.
document. When I say TV, I don't even mean TV. I mean
Oh, my
documentary,
documentaries are done
YouTube.
purely streaming. Purely streaming.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
what I
I
mean.
don't even watch the TV anymore. Um, Now my mother will have it on for background noise.
You watch everything on your phone then?
Yes.
Oh, you
Yeah.
do. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, well, I've got a tablet.
Oh, okay. Well, it's big enough because I can't do it.
Yeah, I don't need a big old TV. I mean, I have one and sometimes I'll watch it, but when you don't have Wi-Fi and you don't have all the
Well,
cool stuff like the cool kids got,
yeah.
um,
No, I
you're
got
kind of just stuck with cell phone service. You have to deal with
no,
what you have.
no. I get you because I can't watch a YouTube show on my phone unless I'm chatting. Then I use the phone.
Mhm.
I
No, I
use
use my tablet pretty much for everything. It's
or
what I talk to everybody like on this show and even our own show, my own show, Blondes and Booze and everything else. That's where I type on this. I don't use my phone. I just use it for its camera and the mic, and that's it.
yes, I
That's
hear it.
all.
And even I like watching YouTube on the computer because I can type better on the keyboard because I can't type for crap on my phone. I always screw up. But I did want to ask you, I went give you some information and for everybody out there. Do you know that too, like you really, when you're at nighttime, let's say you're a person, let's say you go to bed at 10 at night. This is just to say,
Okay.
and you're on your phone and it's already night, your mental clock, your biological clock knows it's nighttime. And for people that have a hard time sleeping, what happens is if you decide that you are one of these phone junkies that reads on your phone or watches videos on your phone, that you're not getting good sleep because when you eventually do fall asleep, your brain is stimulated because you're faking out, you're tricking your mind into it, that it's daytime. Because all, and even I don't care if you have your phone on shade or dim, that light coming into your eyes is so close and so vibrant, more so than your TV even is, and it's tricking you. And so they were doing these studies that a lot of people were getting insomnia, getting terrible night's sleep. They might have slept for 8 hours, but it feels like they slept only 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It was because of the phone rewiring their brain.
Oh, absolutely. I believe that 100%.
Yeah.
I believe that 100% because so when I go to work, I'm not allowed to have my phone. What is the first thing I do when I get out of work? I sit down in my car and I pick up my phone. First thing.
Yeah, right.
First thing I do. You know? I'm like, what? Yeah, because you want to see who called, what messages are going on, what needs to be, da 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 da. I mean, it's just kind of crazy that that's the first thing I'm going to go to. When I'm bored, first thing I'm going to do is grab my phone.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, I am getting in the habit of reading an actual book before I go to bed.
That's great.
Because I have like Kindle and all of that stuff where I can read on my tablet and all of that good stuff, but it hurts my eyes. It really hurts my eyes, with or without my glasses. It hurts my eyes. So I try not to do that anymore. And, and then my eyes won't hurt when I go to bed. It's like they're strained or something. It's just really weird. So, and then it relaxes me more, which helps a lot. But, because my sleep schedule is messed up anyway, because I come home, I have to take a nap, and then I'm on a show, and then I have to take a nap, and then I got to wake up and go to work. So my sleep pattern's already messed up anyway, and the phone screws it up. It really does.
I do think it does, because I don't even know why I do this. In fact, I don't even know why I have my phone by me when I go to bed, because I'll find that, because I don't sleep a straight, like 5 or 6 straight hours. I always get up every 2 or 3 hours regardless.
Right.
And when I get up, I grab my phone and go on it for like 10 minutes before I go back to sleep. Isn't that stupid?
I know. See, and then, like the whole reading of the books and stuff, when I'm using my apps and stuff like that, I can get a book virtually for a couple bucks, just a couple dollars, and I'm good, with that. But if I go to the store and try to buy the hardback book or even just the paperback book, I'm paying somewhere between $15 and $30. So you're just kind of like, it's the cheaper option to use your phone.
You're right about that.
Yeah. So I'm like, see that nobody's making this easy.
And the audio book would be cool, but I fall.
Yeah, I'm an audiobook junkie.
Yeah, do you dream about it when you listen to an audiobook? Do you fall asleep and dream about what you were listening to? I do.
Sometimes it depends on where I stop in the book. Now, if it's at a really, super, extreme part of the book, like it's the middle of the plot, and you're like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next? I mean, yeah, then I do. But most of the times I don't.
Okay.
Most of the times I don't. I'll start making my own stories up in my head, but I don't even have time enough to dream. I don't really get into that REM sleep. That doesn't happen for me quite often enough.
Yeah, no.
which is sad.
I find my dreams take place between 3 and 4 in the morning or right before I get up.
Yeah.
For whatever the reason.
Yeah.
BJ had a quick. Go ahead.
I mean, it happened to me this morning. I mean, I woke up at my normal about 2:15 this morning. I woke up and then I stayed up to like 5, and then a miracle happened and I went back to sleep.
Oh, wow. Hallelujah.
Yeah. And then I woke up at 9 o'clock. 9 a.m.
Wow.
I said,
Awesome.
woo, look at there. And I was dreaming. I had dreams. I was like,
that's a good feeling.
That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool.
I finally dreamt. I had enough time.
I know. So I've been in a really rested mood today. I mean, of course, the heat takes it out of you. We all know that. Yeah. And by gosh, everybody stay cool. It's going to be nasty this next week for sure.
Yes.
Especially, in our part of the country. So be careful out there. Get your fans on. Make sure your AC's working. Check on your pets. Make sure they've got their water and someplace to stay cool. All that good stuff. And check on your friends and your family.
Yes, please do so in the heat. Hey, really quick, this was interesting. I don't have a take. I have got a take on this. BJ had a quick question when we were talking about mirrors. And we've talked about something similar to this, Brandi.
Yeah.
Rob and Brandi, if you hang a cross in front of a mirror, will that keep anything bad from coming through?
What would I say, Rob? Because you already know what I would say.
Yeah, you would say that you can't invite anything in, like welcome mats.
Right. But if you put a cross over a mirror.
I would not do it.
I would.
Over the mirror?
Because it's intent.
Oh, the intent thing, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, you should know that. You do know that. You just didn't come to that conclusion yet. You would have found it sooner or later.
Yeah.
It's all about intent. I mean, you can put a cross there. You can use
your intent could be a stuffed animal, though.
Yeah, you could use anointing oil, or you can use holy water, whatever you use for your locking. I say locking abilities, and close off that mirror. You can close off a mirror if that's what you choose to do. Close it off.
Yeah.
And that's based all on intent and what you want to do. But like I said, you can use anointing oil, you can use holy water, you can use a cross, whatever you choose. It's just you have to believe in that 100% to block off that mirror. Uh-oh, what did you say?
Saturn was just hit by a large object in space.
2 days ago? That's weird.
That's weird.
Well, do you think that could have thrown off a lot of stuff? Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely could have happened.
That for sure. I believe yes, I believe.
Any disruption in our natural vibration is going to cause a ruckus.
Absolutely. Oh, I agree that 100%. We don't have time, but I have theories, things I've looked up and what I've heard other well-known people talk, scientists, physicists talk about how the axis of the Earth is, there's all sorts of things going on.
Oh my gosh, talking about solar flares and everything else. Jesus, yes.
And even the climate control, I do believe that somewhere is controlled by us. But there's also natural progressions too, which are just as it's causing what's going on in the world. Because we've never had weather like we were experiencing a decade ago. Yeah,
no, Missouri being in Tornado Alley, that was never part of the deal.
Michigan, when me and you were kids in Michigan, we could build igloos. Now you'd be lucky. Now you can build a mud pile.
Yeah. I mean, it barely goes up to your kneecaps.
No.
And we as kids, even at 4 foot, 5 foot tall, as children, we're building things that were above our heads.
Yes.
That we can't now.
Absolutely we did. We had walk-in forts made of snow.
Yeah.
In Michigan.
And we used to tunnel all over the backyard. I remember that.
They still get it in the UP, Upper Peninsula, but not where I live. But anyway, This is a great show. I got to thank Mickey, Andrew, Sir Brian. I missed you, Sir Brian. I didn't see that earlier. Sir Brian Bowden, if you're still in the chat. T-Bone, Donnie Cho, Keith, and Joshua Castro for your awesome super chats and or pirate memberships. Thank you so much. Mateys. And this is really going to conclude our week. Today is Saturday. Sunday, I think, is our only day off from all this madness.
No, it's not mine. I'm on Truth and Tinfoil. Truth or Tinfoil.
Truth and Tinfoil is on Sunday?
Yeah, Truth or Tinfoil with Brandi at 5 p.m. My night off is Tuesday night when you're on.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, so I get to watch you on Tuesday nights. But other than that, I have podcasts every other night of the week.
So it seems, but it is. It's a fact. So everybody, thank you so much. And don't forget, September 19th and 20th, we do have the conference in Richmond, Missouri.
Get your tickets.
Vendor spots are also open.
Oh, yes. We have plenty of those. We have a whole fairgrounds for those. So we are not going to run slimmest spots there. We don't care what you sell out there as long as it is all age appropriate. Okay. I can't believe I got to say that, but all age appropriate.
Yeah, right. You never know. You got to say everything to cover yourself.
That's right. That's right.
So to speak, cover yourself.
Right. And don't forget, we also have a psychic gallery reading with Marilyn Bass that you can get. Yeah. There's tours going on during the day at the museum. There's just so much stuff. Just go to Eventbrite to Crossing Realms Conference, and all the information is there.
Yes, and only use the links that we provide.
Oh, yes. Watch out for them scammers.
Yes.
Yeah, the only way to purchase a ticket is go to Eventbrite under the Crossing Realms Conference. You cannot transfer tickets to each other. You can't do anything without Eventbrite and our approval. So if you need anything, you can pretty much contact Rob or us on blondesandbooze@gmail.com. You can do all those kinds of things, but do not contact anyone else, not from the Misfit Island of Toys.
Right. Because they just want your money and they will take it.
And they got a couple people already, so be careful.
Yes, they did. They had a couple people that they got.
Yep.
It's terrible. It's terrible. That's one of the powers of the internet.
Yes. But yeah, they're saying it blatantly and out there, like going right on to
they're advertising on Facebook or wherever, TikTok, wherever, where we know we're gonna see it, for gosh sakes.
Right. And the answer is thank you, Donnie, and no.
What was that? I didn't see that one. He gave you another super chat. Thanks, Donnie. What do you say?
Yeah, that's what I said. Age appropriate and Bigfoot, and I said no.
Oh boy. Now, Donnie, if you came out with your first Bigfoot erotica novel, I'm sure it would be a hit. You could sell it.
Yeah, but you couldn't advertise it as that. You would have to find a different genre to put it under.
Yeah, no, right.
But just call it adult Bigfoot stories.
Fun with Bigfoot.
Fun with Bigfoot.
Going for a roll with Bigfoot.
Yeah, on a roll with Bigfoot. There you go.
Yeah, it's getting towards the end. I appreciate everybody. Thanks again, Donnie, and everybody else that donated something to the show. We appreciate it. Hit that like button on your way out. And we will see you all next week. As I look for my thing, found it. Okay, Brandi, thank you. And
good night, everybody.
Good night.
This is the future. Evolution.
The Crossing Realms Conference launches September 19th and 20th and will dock in Richmond, Missouri. This is already being called the event of the year, folks. With an unprecedented list of speakers and special guests, 2 days of cryptids, UFOs, and paranormal presentations, along with a celebrity-filled ghost hunt, meet and greet, gallery reading, vendors, and a film screening. This promises to be both educational and fun. Go to eventbrite.com to secure your tickets and vendor slots before they are all abducted. They're going fast.